Part 1. In the heart of a bustling American city, a case unlike any other began to unravel. A story woven with mystery, treachery, and chilling surprises that would grip the imagination of even the most seasoned detective. It all started with the unexplained murder of renowned businessman Vincent Miller, a respected figure whose sudden, brutal end sent shockwaves through both high society and the shadowy corridors of corporate power. Vincent's lifeless body was discovered by his downstairs neighbor, a quiet resident named Linda Harper, who had been startled by an unusual surge of water flooding through her entryway. That morning, as the first hints of dawn crept over the skyline, Linda encountered a sight so surreal that it would haunt her dreams for years. A body, elegantly dressed yet marred by the cruel hand of fate, lying amid water that glistened strangely under the pale light. As investigators arrived, whispers began circulating around the block about how meticulously Vincent had been undone. There were clues, odd and out of place, a trail of evidence that led not only to the somber corridors of his once bustling penthouse, but deep into the heart of a financial labyrinth. Mere hours after the grim discovery, an anonymous individual, armed with Vincent's personal documents, had managed to withdraw every last dollar from his corporate account. The elaborate nature of the financial breach hinted at a scheme so daring that it challenged the very essence of trust and security in a world where money flowed as freely as secrets. At first glance, suspicion naturally fell upon Grant Donovan, Vincent's trusted deputy, who had been seen at the penthouse on the fateful day. Grant's presence was more than coincidental. It raised questions about loyalties and the possibility of an insider betrayal. Yet the unfolding mystery did not rest with him alone. Eyewitness accounts and forensic evaluations soon revealed that two additional figures had visited Vincent's apartment that day. An unidentified individual, cloaked in secrecy, and a woman whose identity offered fleeting clues to a larger, more complex narrative. Each enigmatic encounter deepened the enigma, challenging investigators to piece together a puzzle that was rapidly expanding beyond conventional motives or grudges. Part 2. The scene inside Vincent's apartment was as baffling as it was eerie. An extensive collection of magazines, articles, and scattered research papers adorned every surface, all focused on a single, perplexing subject. A rare disease that caused premature aging in those afflicted, a condition that bore an uncanny resemblance to progeria. This discovery added an entirely unexpected dimension to the investigation. Vincent, known for his robust health and vigor, had apparently developed an unusual fascination with the subject, a fixation that seemed both personal and prophetic. Was his research a desperate bid to understand a mysterious illness, or had it somehow foreshadowed his own tragic fate? As forensic experts combed through every detail, they unearthed a photograph tucked away in a hidden drawer that would prove pivotal. In this faded image, Vincent was seen smiling warmly in the company of a young woman whose identity remained shrouded in mystery. Her appearance not only softened the stark brutality of the case, but also hinted at a personal relationship that might provide vital clues to the motivations behind the heinous crime. The photo suggested that Vincent's life had been entwined with secrets, intimate, painful, and possibly dangerous ones that extended far beyond the boardroom. In a seemingly unrelated detail that nonetheless sent ripples through the investigation, one of the key witnesses, a stylish figure known in the circles of high society, was noted for her impeccable wardrobe. Rebecca Collins, as she was later identified, was seen wearing a striking ensemble consisting of sleek black two-piece trousers paired with a tailored vest, complemented by a delicate light gray blouse adorned with bold, pronounced stitching. Her appearance was as deliberate as it was captivating. Was this a nod to a hidden identity, a symbol, or a mere coincidence? The precision of her outfit, combined with the carefully curated manner in which she navigated the social elites, led many to speculate that she was more than just a bystander in the unfolding drama. As the investigation deepened, questions mounted. Who was truly orchestrating this elaborate plot, and could the seemingly disparate elements, from a meticulously planned bank heist to an eerie obsession with a debilitating disease, be linked by a single nefarious mind? The trail of evidence pointed to a network of personal vendettas and high-stakes financial intrigue. Every new clue seemed to shatter the larger picture, fragmenting the truth into pieces that were as hauntingly beautiful as they were ominous, setting the stage for answers that remained just beyond reach. Part 3. In the midst of this convoluted maze of clues and suspects, seasoned detectives found themselves grappling with more than just physical evidence. They were entangled in an intricate web of human passions, betrayals, and hidden agendas. The duality of Vincent Miller's life, his outward success and his covert preoccupation with mortality, forced investigators to question everything they presumed about wealth, power, and vulnerability. There was an unsettling feeling that every element of the case, from the fateful water flooding to the desperate financial maneuver, had been calculated in advance. Each mysterious visit, each misplaced document, felt like a deliberate move in a dangerous game played on the edge of society's moral boundaries. The role of the unidentified individuals loomed large in this unfolding drama. Grant Donovan, initially seen as the most likely suspect, was now viewed through a clouded lens of doubt and suspicion. His presence at the crime scene, though undeniable, was marred by the realization that he might just be the fall guy in a larger conspiracy. Meanwhile, the enigmatic woman from the photograph and the person who visited the scene under the cloak of anonymity became symbols of a secret world operating beneath the veneer of respectability and tradition. Their actions suggested complicity in a crime that was as much about personal retribution as it was about a meticulously orchestrated plan to dismantle a financial empire. As the investigation pressed on, one of the most tantalizing threads emerged from the curious research materials strewn about Vincent's apartment. The obsession with a rare disease hinted at an underlying fear of aging, decay, and ultimately, the loss of control, a theme that resonated deeply with those aware of the dark corners of human ambition. Was Vincent's study of premature aging merely academic, or was it a cryptic message left behind by a man who sensed his own mortality? And did that message somehow guide the events leading to his untimely demise? This labyrinthine case continues to baffle both law enforcement and the public, inviting speculation on every front. Was it a case of cold, calculated greed, or a profoundly personal vendetta that turned lethal in a sea of secrets and lies? With every revelation, new questions arise, compelling us to look beyond the obvious and into the murkier depths of human ambition and frailty. As we piece together the fragments of Vincent Miller's final days, one cannot help but wonder. In a world where even the most meticulously planned lives can unravel in an instant, who among us truly controls the course of fate? Will the answers ever be fully revealed, or will this mysterious case forever haunt the corridors of American detective lore? In the scene inside Vincent's apartment, mystery mingled with unease as every surface brimmed with a haunting collection of magazines, articles, and loose research papers, all fixated on one puzzling subject: a rare disease that triggered premature aging in its victims, mirroring the dreaded condition known as progeria. Although Vincent was a picture of robust health, his obsession with this convoluted malady added a spine-chilling twist to his final days, as if he had been secretly wrestling with dark premonitions of decay and loss. Investigators were left speculating whether his relentless quest for understanding was merely academic or a desperate attempt to uncover a fate he feared might be closing in on him. Adding to the baffling layers of the mystery, forensic experts stumbled upon a hidden photograph, tucked away carefully in a forgotten drawer. In that aged image, Vincent was seen smiling warmly, accompanied by a mysterious young woman whose identity remained veiled behind the shadows of time. Her presence in the photograph not only tenderly humanized the case, but also hinted at a deeply personal and possibly perilous connection that could unlock secrets behind Vincent's sudden fall. This intimate glimpse into his life conjured images of clandestine meetings and whispered confidences, of a man whose world was as complex and vulnerable as the financial empire he built. Amidst the unfolding drama, another compelling figure emerged, a high society witness known for her impeccable style and aura of calculated enigma. Rebecca Collins, as she came to be known, was repeatedly spotted in her signature attire, a chic, sharply tailored ensemble featuring sleek black two-piece trousers, a matching vest, and a striking light gray blouse adorned with bold, large stitching. Her carefully curated look, exuding an air of purposeful elegance, ignited suspicions that her presence at key moments was anything but coincidental. Was her deliberate sartorial choice a subtle nod to an undercover role in the saga, or simply a coincidence that deepened the labyrinthine plot? Each question surrounding Rebecca pushed the investigation further into uncharted territory, where elegance met intrigue and ordinary appearances masked disconcerting secrets. As relentless inquiries delved into the enigmatic repository of clues left behind at Vincent's apartment, new questions began to multiply like shadows at dusk. How did these disparate elements, the desperate bank withdrawal, the cryptic research on aging, the presence of mysterious visitors, coalesce into a coherent outline of betrayal and calculated deception? The clues pointed towards a perilous interplay of personal vendettas and high-stakes financial intrigue, a world where even the most measured steps hid lethal traps. With every new discovery, the case morphed into an ever more intricate puzzle, a narrative of suspense that questioned loyalties and peeled back the glossy veneer of American corporate life. In the midst of this perplexing web of clues and suspects, investigators found themselves grappling with more than just tangible evidence. They were entangled in a labyrinth of personal betrayals, hidden allegiances, and secrets that seemed to linger in every shadowed corner of Vincent's final days. The duality of his life, his public persona as a powerful businessman, and his private obsession with the ravages of a mysterious disease, challenged the very notion of invincibility and forced everyone involved to question the fragility of human ambition. Every clue, from the deliberate water flooding that first signaled the unfolding tragedy to the meticulously executed financial maneuver that drained his company account, hinted at a design more devious and calculating than anyone had imagined. Suspicion had initially settled on Grant Donovan, Vincent's once trusted deputy, whose presence on the fateful day now raised doubts about whether he was the true mastermind or merely a pawn in a grander scheme. Alongside him, the enigmatic woman from the photograph and another shadowy figure who had visited the apartment brought an unexplained element of personal vendetta and covert operations to the fore. Their roles in the mystery, cloaked in ambiguity and rife with potential motives, transformed what had begun as a straightforward corporate betrayal into a sprawling saga of human intrigue and moral paradoxes. As the investigation forged ahead, further layers of the mystery began to reveal themselves. Explorations into Vincent's personal interests uncovered a striking fixation on the ravages of aging, a theme that resonated deeply in a world obsessed with youth and power. The sprawling research littered about his once pristine penthouse invited theories that perhaps Vincent had foreseen a vulnerability in the force he had built, or even that he was attempting to unravel a secret that the corridors of high society had long tried to conceal. Every piece of evidence, every carefully hidden detail, painted a picture not just of a man betrayed by those closest to him, but of a life layered with complexities as intricate and unpredictable as the very city in which he made his fortune. In a haunting twist, the signs of calculated planning in every element of the crime led some to believe that the true architect of this dark narrative was operating from behind a veil of respectability, a figure who manipulated events with the precision of a master chess player. It provoked unsettling questions about the interplay between power, loyalty, and the relentless passage of time. How could an obsession with premature aging and the inevitable decline of greatness be tied so neatly with themes of greed and betrayal? Was Vincent's meticulous research simply the ramblings of a man confronting his mortality, or a cryptic message designed to expose the rot at the heart of an empire built on deception? Even as law enforcement pressed for answers, the case continued to drift in a twilight space between clear evidence and the murky depths of conspiracies. Each revelation served only to deepen the mystery, leaving behind fragments of a larger truth stitched together with ambition, fear, and a relentless thirst for power. As the final chapters of the investigation unfolded amidst whispers and coded messages, one couldn't shake the feeling that the true architect of these events remained at large, orchestrating from the shadows. In a world where fortunes can vanish in a moment, where loyalty is as fragile as a whispered secret, one must ask, who among us truly holds the power to shape fate, and will the full story ever be brought to light?